We'll be going live now to Ikeja, Nigeria, where aviation workers under the Air Transport Services Senior Staff Association of Nigeria have shut down the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. Now, travelers who turned up to fly to destinations far and near have now been left stranded. The aviation workers say they shut the airport over the sack of 37 of their members by Courtney Aviation Services Limited. Our reporter, Nii Agbalaya, is on the scene right now to give us updates. Nii, talk to us right now. So what do we know in terms of this strike?
Well, just behind me here, you can see aviation workers seated, although looking comfortable, but I'm sure the desires of their heart are giving more worrying signs than what we can see right here as they sit and shut the entrance of the Murtala Mohammed Terminal 2, which caters to domestic flights in Lagos, Nigeria. As to what exactly they want, the unionists, as to what they call for or what their yearnings are from the Lagos State government, I'm here with the national president of the Air Transport Services Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Ahmad Ilitrus, to shed more light on that. Sir, can you just tell us what exactly is this action?
Well, first of all, let me say it's an avoidable situation. As a senior staff union, we are not the type that would easily pull out our members to embark on an action like this. It is as a result of frustration, series of frustrations by the BCL, by Courtney Aviation Services Management, and the act of unilateral termination of employment of our members, when in fact we were on the table discussing how management should pay them their exit packages. All by Courtney did was to terminate 35 of our members, including union executives, chairman, secretary, financial secretary, and women leader. What is their sins? They demanded that the entitlement of their members who exited the services of Courtney be paid. Now, simply put, we signed a conditions of service with Courtney, and certain members resigned their appointments. The management chose to use a formula they call historical to calculate their packages. So if you join on level 8 10 years ago, for the first year you join, they will compute the package and keep like that. They want the formula that is known to us in aviation in all our formations is that your last salary, your terminal salary, is used to compute your packages backwards. Now we were on the table discussing that when a situation arose and they said there was loss of business because Dana Airlines and aero contractors stopped operating into the terminal, and that even what they agreed to pay, they could not pay, that we should renegotiate. And we said we could not renegotiate because we are finalized. At the risk of our image, we got our members to agree to accept that formula they computed themselves to pay. That is the historical. Now they said we should communicate it in writing with an appeal to management for them to pay. So we did that, and instead of doing that, they elected to pick 35 union members and send them on 10 days compulsory leave. They said leave with full pay. We wrote to them and we said it was wrong, it was victimization. They should retrace their action, and it violated the ethics of negotiations because we were on the table. They did not hit our call. We demanded that the 35 members be recalled, and they should communicate to us when they were going to pay the entitlement of the workers who exited. I can tell you last week, Friday, we saw a contingent of policemen that came to our secretariat because rather than respond to our demands, They took the matter to the Inspector General of Police.
Nee,
Meanwhile, we have an airport command, police command here in the airport. They went to the IG's office in Abuja.
So apparently this has turned other way.
Yes. Now, let me
hello, Nee.
We explained our case to the police.
Yes, Tolu, I can hear you.
So I would like you to ask him, in terms of this situation right now, this is unfortunately between the union and by Courtney. But in shutting the domestic airports, they're now affecting thousands of Nigerians, those who need to go out through the domestic airports and those who need to fly in through the domestic airports. Does this actually weigh in with the situation in which the union is trying to fight for those 37 members, basically disrupting the activities and the business of people who are not involved in this situation?
Considering the fact that the buses recently are on the 7 days boycott, which is one mode of transportation in Nigeria, now the air services are going to be shut as well. Are the people put into consideration in this?
Like I said to you, regrettably, we usually do not do this, but we are forced to do it to defend the interests of our members. And we are dealing with a very notorious employer here, who, despite agreeing to a commitment before the Commissioner of Police Airport Command that they will not terminate the workers, they went ahead and terminated the workers. So if you put yourself in our shoes, what do you want us to do? To allow them to go away with their impunity? We will not do that. The least we are asking for is for them to recall the 35 they have terminated. We should go back to the table, just as the Commissioner of Police advised, to discuss the way forward. And our case is very simple. We have accepted their computation. And in fact, the latest they are saying is that all the workers are not entitled to any benefit because we signed the agreement in 2019, and that 5 years has not matured for gratuity to take effect, which is most unfortunate.
All right.
You understand? We have signed several agreements in this industry where the year we sign, the benefits will be calculated based on the number of years the employee has worked with the company. And they are electing to throw away that.
So what would make you change your mind right now? What would by Courtney do now that will make you leave here?
It's for them to withdraw the letters of termination, recall all the staff, pay them their October salaries, then we can call off the strike.
All right, Nee, before you let him go,
Well,
quickly
you've
help
heard
me.
it from the national president, Tolu.
So, Nee,
Yes,
before
I'm
you
with
let
you.
him go, I hope he's with you. Don't let him go. Ask how long this will take. If by Courtney does not answer them today, does not answer them tomorrow, how long are they willing to continue this strike that locks down the domestic airports in Lagos? And also, do we know how many flights are affected by this particular strike as of right now?
Okay, just a quick one, sir. If my Courtney does not answer or give in to your request today, tomorrow, in what week?
We will remain here. We will remain here. I can assure you we will remain here.
Even knowing how many domestic flights do we think have been affected today?
Let me say to you, I said it is regrettable. Where our union is Senior Staff Association. Everybody knows us in this industry. We don't pull out people like this. The last time it happened at this same premises was when they sacked 27 of the workers who elected to join the union for no just cause. And we can never allow this to repeat itself. Thank you.
No compromise, no backing down until their request has been attended to. That is
All
the
right.
word of the national president of the aviation workers.
All right, tell him thank you for us. Nee, have you been able to speak with any of those who are caught up in the traffic? We know that you had some issues getting there because of the traffic, but passengers possibly who need to get into the domestic airport, are the flights that are even available right now, have they completely, fully been grounded? What do we know about that situation and how passengers themselves are trying to maneuver around this?
Well, we weren't allowed access to the terminal, but as you can see behind me here, there's a whole lot of traffic. They're not even allowing vehicles stay or to drop passengers. At a particular point, I was trying to get confirmation from a passenger who was also trying to board a flight or had a flight booked at the Terminal 2, but we couldn't have much conversation. All the person could say was, this is wrong. And you could understand and feel the plight of the person, knowing that he or she is not involved in whatever it is going on here, yet he or she has to pay for the actions or the fight between the union and the owner or the operators of this terminal. There's serious traffic on our way here, straight from Ikeja under bridge to this place. It's all blocked up, and it doesn't look like these aviation workers are leaving anytime soon.
All right, Ni Omani, thank you so much for being on location and giving us an update on that.
Thank you.
And just a quick roundup, if you're just joining us, Aviation Transport's Senior Staff Association of Nigeria workers are on strike, and they have closed the gates, the access, the entrance of the domestic airport in Ikeja, Lagos, which means no flights are going out, no flights are likely, possibly may be able to land, but no one will be able to get out of the terminal. Now, they say that this is because about 35 or 37 of their members have been unduly sacked by Courtney Limited, which is an operator that operates within the aviation space. And of course, they operate for the Nigerian government. They're one of the third-party operators. Now, we spoke to the president of the association. He says if Courtney is not ready to do what they've asked, which is bring those workers back, pay their October salaries, and then meet them back at the negotiating table, that they're ready and able and willing to continue this strike until they have their demands met. And this strike now is affecting the operations at the domestic airport. It's likely going to back up things as well for travelers who are trying to head to the international airport, which is just a few kilometers away from the domestic. It's going to affect flights coming in. It's possible right now, we'll get confirmation from you very shortly, that some flights headed to Lagos from other airports in Nigeria, such as the Abuja, Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, both the domestic arm, even coming from Port Harcourt, even coming from places like Ibadan that have overland coming in. Some of these flights may not be able to take off. If they do, what will happen to the passengers who disembark and are locked inside the airport terminal? So this is a developing story coming to you from here in Lagos, Nigeria. We've reached out to Courtney, and hopefully we'll have an official statement from them in the coming moments. But you're watching Business Edge. When we come back, the conversation remains right here on Nigeria, where it seems that public office holders are getting a review of their salaries. It could be going way up, it could stay the same, or it could go down. We'll see if we can get some recommendations and a possible look into the glass for you. Stick around.